Hello guys, you're welcome to today's video, and in today's video we are going to be discussing one very good strategy when it comes to manufacturing of feed. Okay, recently I started manufacturing feed for my birds so I can cut down the cost of feeding, and it has helped me. I've cut it down to close to like 30 to 35%. Okay, so you can try that on your farm too. It's going to help you, but if only you can do it right. Okay, I'm going to make a series concerning feed formulation, so don't forget to always come back to the channel to check the videos out. Okay, for those of you that are new to the channel, I am Oche from Broiler Farms. I'm a broiler farmer in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, but I work in the Middle East. I've been able to run the farm remotely from here because I've implemented systems on the farm. The farm is running smoothly. I have standard operations procedures. I have working instructions and things like that. So the farm is running smoothly even in my absence. So you can also implement something like that. I tell you the truth, if you want to scale your business, you don't have to be there always. You need to get a team that will work with you and scale up that business. And that is what I am doing. I am trying to scale up the business. I'm trying to go into broiler farming properly. So I have to learn how to let my team work for me while I focus on other things. Okay, so if you want that on your farm and you don't have the time to be on your farm always, and you're interested in broiler business, then you better stick to this channel. I have a lot of documents that I've given to people free. They are in the description below. My working instruction, my procedures, my documents, they are all in the description below, so you can download them and tweak them, do whatever you want to do to them, make it suit your farm, and I know you're going to find it helpful. So what we are going to discuss today is Pearson'S square, and that is a method of determining the crude protein in the broiler feed. Okay, so if you want to make a broiler feed, starter, grower, finisher, you need to know the crude protein in the raw materials that you are using. And in this video I'm going to show you how to use Pearson'S square to determine the crude protein. Okay, now Pearson'S square is used majorly for two raw materials. One is your carbohydrate source, while the other is your protein source. Okay, and there are a lot of carbohydrate source. I'm going to tell you this because a lot of videos on YouTube and a lot of documents online, they are not going to tell you how to use the carbohydrates or protein source that you have available in your area. Okay, for example, in Nigeria we don't have sunflower, but you see feed formulas that has sunflower in them. Okay, so how do I get this? But you can also make feed for your birds, healthy feed for your bird, using the raw materials in your area, and I'm going to show you all that in this series that I am about to enter with you guys. So don't forget to always come back to the channel to check the new videos that I have released concerning this matter. So for this training we are going to use soya beans and corn. Okay, corn or maize, whatever you call it in your area. Then the soya beans is not going to be a whole soya beans, that is a full fat soya beans. It's going to be soya meal because it's cheaper in this area. So look for the raw materials that is cheaper in your area. Now you may be wondering, okay, if you have the raw materials in your area and they are cheaper, how can you know the crude protein in them? Very easy, just go to Google. That is what I do. The raw materials in my area, the one I readily have available, I just Google the crude protein in them and I get the percentage. So you can do that whatever raw material you have in your area. If corn is cheaper, if guinea corn is cheaper, yam, cassava, potato, whichever carbohydrate source that is cheaper in your area, you can Google the amount of crude protein inside it. And whatever protein source, soya beans, groundnut, fish meal, or whatever, which one is easy for you to get and is cheaper in your area, you can get the crude protein of it from Google. Okay, I'm going to be using the board because it's analytic, that is mathematical. So let's go to the board. All right, so we are going to discuss Pearson'S square. Pearson'S square. Hope it's visible. Okay, now we are going to use two raw materials. We are going to use corn and soya meal in this case. Okay, so we are going to use corn and we are going to use soya meal. Okay, now I told you to ask Google, right? So from Google, the crude protein in corn is 8.5%. It has a range, but this is what I'm using. Okay, then the crude protein in soya meal is 44%, right? So if I want to make 100 kg of feed, how many kg of soya meal and how many kg of corn do I need to make 100 kg of feed? This is going to be our reference weight. Okay, so we are going to work according to this. Now I told you Pearson's square is when you have two ingredients. It's going to help you, makes the work easy. But ideally, when you're making feed, you have a lot of ingredients to add to it. You have a lot of raw materials to add to it. That is why I said you should follow this series. I'm going to show you everything about feed production. Okay, now the Pearson's square, okay, I'll just draw a square here because it is called square, but you may not necessarily have to draw the square. Okay, so if we have soya meal here, let me just call it soya, and we have corn here. Now we want to make starter feed, for example. Okay, we want to make starter feed, broiler starter, and we know that the crude protein that's supposed to be in starter feed is 22%. This is the crude protein that is supposed to be in starter feed. So what do? We put the 22% in the middle of the square. Okay, now what we are looking for now is how many kg of soya meal and how many kg of corn do we need to create 100 kg of starter that will have 22% crude protein. That is what we need. Okay, so now we know that our soya meal, let me put that one here at this corner of the box, has 44% crude protein, right? And our corn has 8.5% crude protein. Okay, so what do we do now? We find the difference of this and also find the difference of this. Okay, so the difference of this for corn, the difference will be 44. That is for this, that is for you to get the portion of corn, you find the difference of soya meal and this in the middle, and for you to get the portion of soya meal, you find this difference. So we are going to calculate the portion of corn first of all. So the portion of corn is 44. Let me remove the percentage. Is 44 minus 22, which will give us 22, right? That means we need 22 parts of corn. Alright, then for soya meal, how many parts of soya meal do we need? Okay, so I say we should find the difference of this. Okay, so we'll have 22 minus 8.5, which is equals to 13.5. I hope you can see that. Okay, so to make 100 kg of starter feed, we need 22 parts. I didn't say percent, I didn't say kg. 22 parts of the corn and 13.5 parts of the soya meal. Right, now what we do is we add these two together. 22 so you get the total is 22 plus 13.5, right? So 22.35.5, what does it give us? It gives us 35.5. Okay, so this is the total. When you add these two parts, you have the total. So now we need to know the weight of soybeans and the weight of corn to use. So we are going to fill it in these two spaces, right? So what we do is, since we know this, we convert it to percentage, right? So percentage of corn is 22 all over 35.5 times 100, right? We'll get the percentage of corn. Okay, so I'm going to use my calculator, which is 22 divided by 35.5 is equals to this times 100, which is 61.9. So it is approximately 62 kg. So that means we need 62 kg of corn. So for the soya beans, of soya, that is soya meal, is equals to, we have 13.5 all over 35.5 times 100. Okay, I can see that the light is reflecting there, so let me use here, which is equals to, so I use my calculator now, 13.5 divided by 35.5 is equals to this times 100. So that will give us 38 kg. And you see that if you add 62 kg plus 38 kg, you are going to get 100 kg. So for you to get a starter feed that has 22% crude protein, we need 38 kg of soya meal. Okay, we need 38 kg of soya meal and 62 kg of corn. So this is the Pearson's square. It is used to calculate the crude protein when you have two major ingredients, but sometimes we have more than two major ingredients, and that's what I'm going to show you in subsequent series from this channel. Okay, so sometimes we can have soya meal plus groundnut plus fish meal all together as a protein source, right? Then for the corn, for the carbohydrate source, sometimes we can have corn mixed with wheat bran or corn bran, or sometimes you can mix it with cassava flour, like that. So how do you get the quantity of this mixture? What amount of corn do you need if you are combining with corn bran? What amount of corn bran and what amount of corn do you need? Okay, or what amount of soya meal plus fish plus groundnut meal do you need if you are making their feed? So we'll get to that. Okay, so for today, this is the Pearson's square, and this is a head start when it comes to making feed for your birds. Now, a lot of people consider only crude protein when they are talking about feed formulation for birds, and this is very, very wrong. You also need to consider the energy content, okay? Because the energy content and the crude protein needs to be balanced, okay? So how do you get to know all this? Right now, I told you guys I'm generating a course. Okay, now the course is out, it's just to be published, and I'm going to tell you guys the medium that I'm publishing the course. Okay, so everything about feed production is in that course. Okay, it's in that course because I have made feed for my birds and they are doing very, very well. So you can learn how to make feed. This is not giving you just a blueprint, giving you the raw materials, add 5 kg corn, 10 kg soya meal like that. No, this is going to tell you how to manufacture feed using any raw material that you have available. Okay, any raw material, whichever raw material I have available at any time. You know, there are seasons for this material. Sometimes corn could be expensive and maybe you have sweet potatoes or cassava that are cheap. So you can use sweet potatoes or cassava that are cheap if you know the right quantity to use. Then sometimes soya meal could be scarce, but you have groundnut or you have fish meal. Sometimes I make feed with fish meal and sometimes I don't make feed with fish meal because during the rainy season the fish meal is scarce. According to people, I don't know why they said it's difficult to get fish during the rainy season in the part of the country where I'm from. So during the rainy season this fish meal is usually scarce. Okay, so if I can't get it and it has become expensive, and why I'm manufacturing feed is to cut down cost, so why will I go ahead and buy the fish meal that is getting expensive? So I have to use the soya beans alone, or I mix the soya beans with groundnut cake. Okay, but I need to know the right amount that I'm going to use. Okay, although fish meal has an advantage because it has an omega H3, which is a very important minerals for birds to grow. Okay, but if you don't have that, you can still go with soya beans. The important thing is having your protein and your carbohydrates. So there are some things that if the ingredients cannot provide it, you get supplements that can provide it for the birds. Okay, so just try to cut down costs on everything you do when it comes to feed manufacturing. Okay guys, thank you for watching, and the course will be out any moment from now, so please don't hesitate to get the course. Okay, and if you have not subscribed to this channel, then you are missing out a lot. Do subscribe to this channel. Okay, and share the message, pass the message to people, share the link, okay, to people that need this information. I respond to all my comments, so leave comments in the comment section, and I also have a WhatsApp page. Okay, so you can also see the link in the description. Follow that WhatsApp page because it makes on the WhatsApp page I leave daily updates. It's easier for me to leave updates on the WhatsApp page than making a full video for YouTube every time. Okay, so thanks for watching. This is Oche from Broiler Farms. Peace. I'm out.